Okay, let's listen. I want to talk about how to build a UI tool library that helps you to finish a project, to finish a UI design project in less time. What I mean that to build a sets of icons, a sets of tools that you need on a specific project. For example, if I create maybe a button here with this style, with this shape, and let's flit out, and maybe it's not a button, maybe it's a text field, we don't know. Let's delete this, create another one with purpose of this. Yeah, very nice. And maybe we need a little bit gray color. Like this, and maybe a text in here, help. So in here we type button, let's drag it in like this, and let's work on it a little bit. Color white, and maybe drag another one and put it a little bit in between. Arrange, move to back, and now we have a simple pattern. So imagine in a project we have different documents. Maybe we have new document, not artboard. Find it out, not artboard, it's just a separate document. So we need a global library of these buttons that we will build. For example, we build buttons, we build a UI tools library. For example, we create text fields with the own style of that project, for example, with the same color, with a little bit changes, and with different icons. So recreating of them in any other document, it's very tough work, and accessing to them are very problematic with the way of copy pasting. For example, we can copy that and paste it into another document. It's working bad. Copy pasting, it's a little bit time consuming, I think. So in this case, we need to create a symbol from them and build our own sets of library and save as a preset these symbol library and reuse them on your project. For example, I want to create a symbol from this button. Here we have symbols, and in here I just select all of the areas, all of the shapes that I want to convert it to a symbol for using. I just click new symbol and maybe type button. Export type, not movie clips, it's a graphic, a static model or dynamic model, because we need to work and set up, change some parameter. Dynamic symbol, all the things set up, click OK. Now you see that symbol is appear like these symbols, like these icons in here. And the other things that I want to say you that you can use this pre-built presets from Illustrator for creating for your project. For example, we have different types of collections. We have nature, we have primitive, mobile, and these other stuff. So it's our button, and now if I go to other document, is the separate document, and now you see that we have this button in here. Let's delete these other ones in here. Maybe we don't need these icons and delete them. Delete selected symbols, and now maybe create another things in here. Maybe imagine this other types of button. it's a radio button maybe. I'm not sure. So now we just select this and create new symbol, radio button, graphic, and now we have all of them. So the first process that you have to export these symbols as a user-defined library. For example, let's select them and save symbol library in here and save it in a place, for example, desktop, maybe like UI tools library. And now wait a moment, it's okay. And when I go to other document, it's not appearing in here. How can I load that presets and symbols? Very easy, go to the here and open symbol library and other library, go to the place that you have saved your use UI tools library and click open. Now you have the exact same symbols in here, and you can drag it out, and here you can change some parameters in here. You can, for example, maybe click or other stuff, and it is very helpful for you, and it saves a lot of time while you working on a project. And same like that here also, we can copy it, paste it, and all other stuff. In this lesson, I want to talk about two tools that you have to consider, that you have to know inside of Illustrator if you are a UI designer. So the first one is about typography and the type tools that you have inside of Illustrator. How can you manage different characters, different style, and giving your text styles and different other tools that you have in Illustrator. So for example, if I create text in here, maybe click the button to start and make it a little bit larger and put it in here. So I've created this text, and in here in type we have a lots of settings for our text. For example, if I select my text, in here I can also change the font, and also I can change it from here from type. You can see a lot of fonts that you have on your computer in here, and you can select each one of them that you want, bold with different styles, and in here also you can see all of them. And the other things about fonts, that you can add fonts from Typekit. What is Typekit? Typekit is a service from Adobe company, that a library that have a huge library that have a lot of fonts. It's a kind of fonts library, online fonts library, that you can connect Typekit with Illustrator from here, and you can add the fonts that you want to have inside of Illustrator. You can add it from Typekit in here. So in here you can use different style for your text, and also size of your font, and also paragraph, and these other stuff. So let's talk about this type setting that we have. Okay, the first one is the add font from Typekit, and the recent fonts that we use it inside of the project. It's very useful. And also glyphs, that we have different signs we can add from here with different fonts, and for example $sign and other stuff. You can change the case of the text, for example uppercase, all uppercase, and lowercase or title case, and these stuff. And also you can create an outline from your text like this. Now you have the exact same text but in outline mode. You can change the text, you can change what you have typed in here. So it is very useful while you create your own style of typography in a UI design project. Okay, and the other things that we have is the orientation of the type, or horizontal and vertical. For example, if I choose vertical, you have seen that you can see that it's changed to vertical, and you can change it back to horizontal. We have a lot of other things in here, but they're important. They're important if you are an Illustrator user. For example, it's other tool is find font, that you can find the fonts that if you are not using, if you don't know the fonts that you're using on your project, it's all listed in here with different names and different other stuff in the documents. Okay, these are all other parameters. They're all very powerful and very useful, but for a UI designer, for people who are specifically working on as a UI designer, these parameters that I've told you, but for people who are working as a UI designer and using Illustrator for UI design, these parameters are enough, I think. So the other things that I want to talk about is the color, because in UI design, color is very, very important. It's transferring emotions to user, to people who are seeing your apps or seeing your website. It's very helpful. It's very, very okay. We can have different sets of color swatches in here. For example, we have swatches. We can create new swatch in here by changing the name, maybe dark red, and change it in here. And color type, process color, spot color, I think process color, and it's added to my library. This library, you can change the different libraries in here, but click OK, you see your swatch and the specific color is appearing here. You can build, you can create other swatches and save it in here and apply to your shapes. And also we have different swatch library in here built in. And also you can create your own. For example, it's your swatch and you can save swatch desktop, and you can load it back in here like symbols. And also we have a color guide in here. For example, you select this color or maybe this color. You see different types of that color with different tints and shades, with different tones in here. For example, this is a dark, maybe a dark red. You see with different tints in here. It's brightening up and up to white. So it's also very useful. You can change your color harmony and color matching in here. For example, this compound, you see different types, and also you can load it up the swatch, maybe metal. Wait a moment, you see other color, and it's very useful. You have your color eyedropping, that you can eyedrop any color in here and see the hexadecimal code in here. You can copy that, and also you have color themes that you can add it from Adobe website. If you have an Adobe ID, you can connect your Adobe ID with color themes, and you can apply different themes on your project. So that is a short intro, that's a short review to these tools inside of Illustrator. They have lots of other things that you have to familiarize yourself if you want to be a professional Illustrator user. And in this lesson, I just review it very short, very quickly. For people who are designing UI, I think these are enough. Okay, last lesson of this class, I just want to talk about how to export different shapes, different layers into a separate file. That is the actual thing that we need while we delivering our design into developing step, or we can develop it by our own self, for example using HTML and CSS, or we can deliver that, we can give our design project to a developer to work on it on the actual application or on the actual website. Okay, how can we export these different layers into separate file with the exact same dimension of these patterns? We can do that with the built-in tools of Illustrator. We have to use third-party script. In here, I'm using a script called Multiexport that you can download on the project area of this class. It's completely free and you can use it inside of Illustrator. So the first thing I want to do is that putting these shapes into different layers. For example, this I'm just creating new layer. Maybe this is pattern 2, button 1 and put button 2 label into button 2 and this rectangle in here. Now we have different and separated layer for these shapes. So let's go to button 2 and change this. And now for exporting and separating them, I just want to select all of them, or maybe put this above the first one. Select them and go to File, Script, Other Script, and go to Desktop and choose Multi-Exporter. Now we have this script. The first parameters is export from artboards or your current artboards. We just select current artboards, and also export layers. You want to export all of the layers, or you can just select your selected items in here. Your file prefix and suffix name. You already know that prefix and suffix in UI and UX design is very good to use, because it's defined what is the file exactly, what is the usage of that a specific layer into developing process, or what is the rule of that shape in a single screen. So for example, maybe in here new and suffix of btn prefix, and maybe suffix to 00, and scaling to 100%. Output directory, choose where you want to export. Maybe we just create a new folder in here, for example output. Okay, and export format, you have PNG, PDF, or anything else. We use PNG 24-bit. And also interpolating or term or transparency, if you have transparency, you can use that. Here we want them without background, so we need transparency, and we just click on export. Now wait a moment, all of these layers are exporting into different files with the exact same size. So now they are exported. Go to the desktop, and in output you see it is the junk file. We just delete this. So in here we have our layers into different file, and they're ready for delivering and completing. So now you have this and button 2 with the exact same dimension. It's very helpful, it's very good to use this script while you want to export and finishing up your UI design.